Hello everybody, this is Jahames1. Today I'll be showing you the duels I had with L96ONESHOT. Now in my previous duel time video, we had our bow only duels, but this time these duels are, I don't think we had any rules exactly. I don't remember setting any rules, but they were just casual duels. And yeah, these duels did take place right after we had our bow versus bow duels. And for these first two fights here, I believe I use a bow only for a little while. Then I realized how ineffective it is. Then I just switched to a melee weapon. So it would seem to me that he's using the notched whip here with some lightning enchantment. And I don't know if you can parry a whip or not. It doesn't seem like you can, but maybe you can. Whips, they cannot get a riposte, you cannot get a backstab, nor can you do a plunge attack with a whip. So yeah, they are pretty tricky weapons. And here we take a hit for hit. Hits me with his Wrath of the Gods. And man, Skies are a pretty deadly weapon if you're not careful. So just like in our last duels, we weren't using Sky Power. I kinda wish we were. Really do wish we were actually. But anyways, now for this second duel here, or the second match, I began using bow only, and yeah, I had the charcoal pine resin on it, so it did like about 340-ish damage on him, which is a lot of damage considering a bow. It's a bow, but I guess that armor is rather lightweight armor, not the best. Although that Xanthus armor is pretty good. I know it's like really balanced armor from what I remember. And compared to some other armors, it seems like it has some pretty good magic defense as well. So here I'm pretty low on health. I take out this Y-hander. He nearly parries me. I'm really not that good with the ultra great swords. At least when I fight this guy with them, he makes me feel like I'm not good with them. Looks like he has a Dragon Slayer spear there, but yeah, I'm used to fighting them, I suppose, since one of my friends uses it a lot. He really doesn't do that much damage with it, so it's not such a deadly weapon for me. So here I was just following him around that pillar, and he takes out Wrath of the Gods to finish me off. Takes a bow, bowed right in the camera. Now here we are for our next duel. So one of my friends that I play a lot of video games with, the Unknown 9, the guy that I do dual commentary with, he's been telling me about DC Universe Online, which is a MMO game for the PS3. Now, I don't really think there's many, or if there is any PS3 MMO games, but I believe the DC Universe Online is probably the most popular so far, if there were any in the past, which I don't know. But yeah, it is a fun game. It's a superhero game. You customize your character, and I've played lots of MMO games on my computer in the past, but they're just all the same. You start out with a tutorial. It's really basic stuff. They all have similar hotkeys, like I for inventory, C for character, and so on. But yeah, so all MMO games are mostly the same. So DC Universe is kind of similar too, but I don't know, it's pretty different being on the PS3, and it is actually pretty fun, especially when you get to play with other friends and stuff. So here his life is pretty low, but I got my bandit knife out. And like I said before, when when my opponent's HP is low, I usually kind of go easier on them, I guess. And I just look to take them out and with a weaker weapon, or just in a cool way. So thanks to one of my subscribers, the infamous Amos, I found out about this one YouTuber whose name is Dark Souls Mind Eye, I believe. And he makes some Dark Souls videos, gameplay videos of PvP. And well, yeah. He really uses the pyromancies effectively. Those battles of his were just like really entertaining that I saw, and I've seen like some other YouTubers use the fireball and the great fireball, like in a way similar to what I use it. Well, I actually got the idea from them, but they kind of throw it at the ground in a defensive way. They, take off the lock on their opponent, just target the ground at their feet or behind them, wherever they expect their opponents to be, and throw their fireball there, which is quite the effective tactics, especially when you successfully predict your enemy. So L96ONESHOT here, he's pretty good at using a ultra great sword. I don't know why, but sometimes I feel like I have troubles with it. So luckily for me, I know how to get out of a stun lock. Man, I feel like I'm referring to you guys to like 3 different YouTubers right now, but anyways, yeah. So he took me out really quickly right there, and now we go on to our next match. So yeah, we had a lot of good matches. They were pretty fun, and actually I think I dueled him for a really, really long time. Now in this match here, it looks like I'm using the target shield. He just cast this tranquil walk of peace like thing. It's actually special attack from that stone greatsword, but he doesn't actually use it on me. It's kind of nice. In almost all my duels, it seems like I have this moment where like my opponent and I run up to each other and both parry at the same time, kind of like what we did right there. But it seems like sometimes we're even more synchronized with each other. But yeah, it's kind of funny. So it looks like I break his guard right there, finish him off. And I made that battle look pretty easy, but this opponent of mine, L96ONESHOT, is definitely skilled, and I believe he'd win several more battles than I won. So he's pretty good. And this character that he's on, I believe he's a strength build, as later on in the video we'll see him using Smolf's hammer one-handed, which is very impressive. Requires 58 strength. I don't know his stats exactly, but I'd probably guess that it's a strength build. And wow, he just hit me with that special attack right there. I really should have seen that coming, but apparently I didn't. And he sure does know how to use a ultra great sword, Now I broke his guard right there from him trying to riposte me, but I attacked in the opposite direction because I was afraid that he would successfully riposte me. Now, yeah, I believe this guy has 58 strength, and I don't know about his other stats, but he does have quite the amount of vitality. I believe 40 vitality, 40 endurance. That's just my guess. If you want to know his stats, go ask him. So now on to this next match. Now later on in our clips, I believe in our last several clips, we got quite a few riposte attacks on each other. And man, I'm just mowing down his health with my Halberd there. Halberd is, probably one of my favorite weapons, I'd say. I really like its roll attack, although it does have quite the amount of recovery. But its roll attack it has a huge radius, and well, it's quite awesome. It does attack twice, and oftentimes I find myself canceling out my opponent's backstab because I damage them as they're backstabbing me with the heavy attack of the Halberd. And as for most other Halberds, I don't actually like them. Just the only Halberd that I actually do like is its name is Halberd, which is kind of ironic. It has the thrusting attacks, and then it has the regular heavy attacks. So it's a pretty diverse weapon in my opinion, and it does do quite the amount of damage. I believe the Fire Halberd plus 10, it does, I believe, 620-ish damage. And yeah, as I said earlier, this guy is a strength build. Look right there, I finish him off with my Evelyn. That's pretty awesome. Yes, that was quite the awesome finish right there with the Evelyn triple fire crossbow. So in my opinion, the roll attacks of this demon great axe that he's using are quite predictable, And I do believe I get a riposte and parry, or parry and riposte on him in this match. See, dash attack, we ran past each other. He doesn't seem to really do too much damage, but then again, having huge amount of vitality makes most damage look rather small. And yes, I got a pretty awesome riposte and parry right there. Expecting him to rush me or go in for a backstab for some reason, but he did not. Oh man, he finished me off with another nice roll attack. That was a pretty awesome battle. It's a pretty close one too. But riposte with a curved sword does not actually do too much damage. Now, believe it or not, he actually beat me with that golem axe at least once, and if you notice, that golem axe does like very, very little damage. I don't know, I must have been doing terrible that match. So here for this battle, obviously it looks like Mr. L96ONESHOT is using the golem set. It's a pretty awesome set. It is a heavy armor set, although the armor itself is not very balanced and it's not that effective against all types of damage. Like, I think it's weak to fire, and I believe it's weak to lightning as well, and possibly possibly magic. But it does offer some pretty good physical defense, and you know, of course, it offers some good poise. And the golem's axe, I don't know. I've never even used the golem's axe, of course, though I know it has that special attack. And look, this guy does like no damage to me with it. I know he's a strength build. I just assume that he has not upgraded that axe at all. But yeah, there's a special attack right there. He used it at least one other time in this match before that. So yeah, I should probably do that golem set on one of my equipment showcase videos sometime. And man, it just does like practically no damage damage with that golem's axe. But like I said, I hope and I'd imagine that it is not upgraded. Oh yeah, by the way, my next equipment showcase video, yeah, I don't know when it's gonna be ready, but probably will be a few more days still, at least. Like I said, my friend has me distracted with DC Universe Online, which is a fun MMO game on the PS3, like I said earlier. Oh yes, now this is the match where he was using Smolf set. And I may be using the target shield here, but I really don't get any successful riposte attacks, I believe. But I think like all my parries were like partial parries. Like I nearly got it, but instead I just blocked part of the damage and I did not actually successfully parry. I really should have parried that one right there, that roll attack. And oftentimes roll attacks with the great hammer and great axes are quite predictable, although the two-handed roll attacks can be a bit more tricky to predict. Well, not to predict, but to actually parry, because I believe you need to be a little bit more closer to your enemy, and more often than not the enemy will try to use them as a ranged attack, or use the advantage of the range of the attack. And wow, I just nearly rolled off right there. So once again, another partial parry. He riposted me. That is crazy. Pro, man. This guy is like pro. I don't know why I tried to parry him right there. I was like way too far away to actually parry. It's kind of tricky to parry like a weapon with a far reach, especially weapon like a spear, especially long spears like the Dragon Slayer spear. So yeah, he's using Smolf set except for the mask. But of course, I'm sure he needed that mask so that he could roll around like a ninja and still wear nearly all of Smolf's armor, and of course his hammer. But he finishes me off with a backstab. Very nice. He really actually did not do that much damage with the hammer. I'd assume that he did not upgrade it. Now here it would appear that he's using the Assassin's Creed set, also known as the Painting Guardian set. There, he's hurling another one of those fire bombs at me. I don't really know why. Do like 50 damage to me. Man, he got a nice riposte right there. Nice prediction on my roll attack. But I believe he was using dual parrying daggers for this, and well, yeah, they really don't do that much damage. Well, this looks like another fun set to make an equipment showcase video on. The Assassin's Creed set. Oh, I got a nice riposte or parrying riposte on him that time. Then I finish him off with a nice great combustion. Good game. Alright, now on to the very last match. I kind of failed right there. Sometimes like I mean to do one emote, then I'm just like mashing the buttons, but I keep on doing other emotes. But whatever. Now this was another match where he did pretty good with the ultra great sword. But then again, I was only using these tiny knives. I believe I was trying to parry him quite a few times, as he was also trying to parry me quite a few times. That was a very nice roll attack. Man, L96, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not very good against ultra great swords, or maybe he's good against, maybe he's good with them. It's hard to say. I should fight other people who use them. So I'm using the jagged ghost blade here. Yep, pretty weak dagger. I would not really recommend using it. I believe it's considered a cursed weapon, so you can hit the ghosts with it without that transit curse item. Yeah, it's still not worth using, as those curses, the consumable, they're pretty easy to get. You know, just wear a gold serpent ring, fight some ghosts, and you'll get them pretty easy actually. And this jagged dagger is quite weak. Now here, I'm nearly dead, but so is he. Here in the ruins, it's kind of hard to see your opponent's HP, as like everything's kind of tinted red, and the opponent's HP bar is also red. So yeah, makes it rather hard to see. He was attacking me quite often right there with the parrying dagger, but then I realized that I could actually parry his rapid attacks with my shield there. So here I get another backstab on him, and he's nearly dead. So I was thinking, alright, I'll just finish him off with these heavy attacks right there, but nope, he takes me out. Good game, good game. Thanks for watching, you guys. Goodbye.